With WWE's intentions behind Cody Rhodes having his spot taken by The Rock revealed and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Taking to X, former WWE star Ryback would level an accusation at the company's head of creative Triple H, writing, "My career speaks for itself when marks make me trend because they know deep down I made an impact in a very short period of time before I had to walk away for my health and to keep my brand. I don't need to go to that babbling POS Meltzer to say Triple H has his own NDAs. And there are many more to be found with hiding horrible behavior. John Cena should be highly concerned as well. Alex Riley deserves justice as well." Following NXT Vengeance Day, this was said about the backstage reaction to the women's title match. As Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful noted, the NXT Women's Championship match was very well received backstage, with praise for all three women involved, especially Lola Vice. Revealing how her nickname came to be, Rhea Ripley told Not Sam Wrestling, "Mommy was a priest thing. I went out there, came back after kneeing myself in the face and busting my front two teeth. I had braces for a week. It was great. I came back from that and we came back on Rey's anniversary. That's where I decided to be a little menace, be myself, and I ordered an Eddie Guerrero shirt and I came out with I'm Your Poppy shirt just to see what the hell was going to happen from that. That was a me call and just me doing something that I thought was right, and I wanted to stir the pot a little bit. I started the whole Poppy thing. I got told I couldn't be Poppy, so Priest was like, well, you're Mommy. I was like, damn straight I'm Mommy. We're going to roll with that. The Mommy thing makes me feel comfortable. I just go out there and I'm a child version of myself. I go out there, have fun, do little menace things, make fun of people, just going out there and having fun." Touching on the upcoming announcement from AEW President Tony Khan on Wednesday, Eric Bischoff said this on his 83 Weeks podcast. And just like everything else that we've seen out of AEW, a week later it won't matter because it's not going to grow the audience, and all of this hype and all the anticipation of the big super surprise or whatever it is, when it's all said and done, all three of Tony's shows combined won't equal one Monday Night Raw rating. On Wednesday, AEW Dynamite will be in Boston, which is the hometown of Mercedes Moné. There's also been speculation that announcement could have to do with the potential signing of former New Japan star Okada. Previously, this was said regarding plans for Mercedes Moné, as Ringside News wrote. Recently, it was reported that Mercedes Moné is no longer under any pro wrestling contract, sparking rumors of her WWE return. However, it appears a return to WWE is not in the cards, as she is expected to make an appearance elsewhere. According to PW Insider, Mercedes Moné is set to return to professional wrestling by March, but it won't be with WWE. While it wasn't explicitly mentioned, the prevailing belief is that Mercedes Moné may be heading to AEW. For a health update on Rey Fenix, who has been out of action from AEW for over 3 months, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, "So the story that Rey Fenix was getting a hip replacement or had a hip replacement is inaccurate. Yes, a double hip replacement, that's inaccurate. I don't know exactly what the whole story is, but I'm one of his friends who just said that he did not get a hip replacement." Explaining how he ended up at the post-Royal Rumble press conference to ask Cody Rhodes a question, Diamond Dallas Page said this to Sportskeeda. "I had no idea, first of all, I was going to ask a question. I was just coming in because when Cody won and then he grabbed the mic and he talked to the people after it went off the air, it moved me and I wanted to get down to catch him when he's coming out of the gorilla position, but I can't find an elevator. It won't go to the bottom floor for some reason now. So I got up, he's still talking, he finished, and I walked right through all the people, which is up probably 200, 300 seats, Fan said, oh my god, DDP. And I'm just walking, beelining to get to the ring on his way back to Gorilla. People were freaking out. It was so much fun, but I was a man on a mission and I got to the railing. I just jumped over it at 68 years old. We just hugged each other for like a minute. It was powerful. He goes, hey, you want to go to the press conference? I'm like, yeah, sure. My buddy Chris Van Vliet's there. And when I sat down there next to Chris, they handed me a mic. They go, you've got the first question. I had no idea what I'm going to say. During that same interview, DDP said this regarding Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble and his role in WWE. I don't think, because we all know there's been a little adversity, there's a little dark cloud right now. I don't know what happened there. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I'll tell you what I do know. When you have anything like that happen, who are you looking at now to represent the company? I don't think there's a better person that can represent the company. Family values, work ethic is insane. All of his belts say do the work. That's what that they say on them. If it doesn't say American Nightmare, somewhere he's written on it do the work. It's all about that. He wrestled with a torn pec and went 20 minutes with one of the greatest wrestlers ever, Seth Rollins, and made it through and came back from that injury. To get this spot, I can't think of a better person in their company that I'd want to see. Taking nothing away from Roman Reigns because he has proved to be a demigod, and he really has. I watched him from the Shield on. He actually did DDP yoga when he was playing for Georgia Tech, so that's the first time I ever met Roman because I was working with the team. But this guy, he's a demigod. He's in the same vein of Hogan now, and of course Austin and The Rock, all of it. But I just can't see a better person, especially at this time, to represent the WWE. Mentioning a time when he was about to make a WWE comeback, Rhino told Chris Van Vliet, Hunter, Triple H wanted to hire me back after TNA. Vince told Hunter, I like Terry as a person, but he's never going to work for us again. Never. I heard that in 2013. Terry Taylor actually told me. I'm not sure if he was supposed to tell me or if Hunter told him. Hunter was a big fan of my work. He knows the importance of veterans working with younger talent in the ring. He said it's not a battle I can win. I see Pat Patterson, who has always been a fan of mine, in Montreal in 2014. When you hear that, it's like, ugh, but I know I can change minds. Never doesn't mean never. So Pat goes to Vince. Steve Lombardi tells me I'm going to get a call. So no call. Pat went to Vince. You got to hire this guy. Looks great. The crowd loves him and we need him. Nothing. Vince likes everything to go through him because if it goes wrong, he has no one to blame but him, which is totally respectable. I get it, but he likes ideas. Hunter booked me for NXT and I worked with Elias before he came up with that character. I was like, please remember me. Hunter knew it would work. He knows how to book stuff and how to run wrestling. If something worked, Vince would be like, okay, you don't have to run stuff by me. I'm not saying I opened the door for Samoa Joe and the other guys. They were all important for NXT, but if he had someone come out and it was a dud, then it wouldn't have gotten the leeway. Following her signing with Smackdown, this was said about former NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton by PW Insider Elite. Tiffany Stratton is done with NXT and will be full-time on WWE Smackdown going forward. Giving a brief update on what is to come for Andrade following his return at the Royal Rumble, PW Insider Elite reported that the current plan is for Andrade to be a babyface on the WWE Raw brand. Speaking of plans for WWE stars, this was said regarding Jade Cargill by Ringside News. As fans eagerly await news about which brand Jade Cargill will officially join, it's worth noting that according to PW Insider, she has not yet been officially assigned to a specific WWE main roster brand. It's worth mentioning that the original plan months ago was for her to join Raw, but in the ever-evolving world of WWE, plans can change, and her ultimate destination remains a topic of anticipation and intrigue. In some unfortunate news, the father of an all-elite wrestling star has passed away, with Ringside News writing that Richard Caster, a former NFL player and the father of AEW star Max Caster, has sadly passed away at the age of 75. The news of his passing was reported by the Clarion Ledger, and it was revealed that he had been battling Parkinson's disease. Revealing when Cody Rhodes found out about The Rock taking his spot at WrestleMania 40 against Roman Reigns, Fightful Select noted, regarding the timeline of events, we're told that Cody at least was informed as of Friday that this was the decision, and he didn't travel to Smackdown without knowing. Talent, including The Rock, had all been booked for the February 8th press conference in Las Vegas by that time, though The Rock's involvement wasn't clear. Staying on this topic, this was said about WWE's intention behind The Rock taking the spot of Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania this year, as Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio. I don't know what they were expecting, but they were expecting Cody Rhodes turning Daniel Bryan. Yes, they were expecting to make Cody Rhodes a new martyr and make him a bigger babyface out of that. Were they expecting people to boo Dwayne? I don't know, because I've asked that one and haven't gotten a straight answer. Taking to Instagram, NWA star Kilynn King revealed she underwent surgery on her ACL, writing, "The deed is finally done. Surgery went really, really well. Thank you to Dr. Tramer and all the nurses who talked me through everything and kept a smile on my face. This was my first major surgery, so I had a lot of nerves and anxiety, and they made the process so pleasant and smooth. Now I'm home binge watching TWD. Thank you guys for all the prayers and well wishes. Today we rest. Tomorrow the comeback begins." Going over the attendance numbers for AEW as well as WWE from last week, Ringside News wrote WrestleTix recently compiled attendance figures for WWE and AEW television shows last week. Among the shows, Friday Night Smackdown had the highest ticket sales, while AEW Dynamite had the lowest sales this time around. Monday Night Raw on January 29th took place at the MLA Arena in Tampa, Florida, where they sold 12,871 tickets, making it the biggest winner last week. The January 31st AEW Dynamite took place at the Uno Lakefront Arena in New Orleans and drew an audience of 2,236, making it the biggest loser. The February 2nd Friday Night Smackdown took place at the Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, and sold 10,819 tickets. AEW Collision took place at the Burt Ogden Arena in Edinburgh, Texas, where they sold 3,177 tickets for last week's show. Revealing what she would like to achieve on the WWE main roster, Indi Hartwell told West Sport, "My goal is obviously everyone's goal to become the champion. I would love to become women's world champion. Right now, I'm very much focused on the tag titles. Reuniting with Candice, we want to be the tag champions up on the main roster. That's what we're looking at. Obviously, to wrestle in Perth is what I'm looking forward to as well." With World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and Undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns taking shots at each other and their titles, Ringside News said, according to Sean Ross Sapp behind Fightful's paywall, two of WWE's top superstars engaging in verbal jabs at the company's top championships has not raised concerns among higher-ups. One executive mentioned, "Look who we're in business with now," highlighting WWE's partnership with UFC through TKO, where such trash talk is more commonplace. The source indicated a desire to spark discussion among fans, noting that both champions have valid reasons to claim superiority for their respective titles. Ultimately, the decision on which title holds more validity lies with the fans, whether they prefer the defended title or the one with a richer history held by Reigns for over 3 years. Talking about the allegations that have come out against Vince McMahon, Mick Foley said this on his podcast. His belief in me made all the difference in the world, from just being another guy to being, one of his main guys during that Attitude Era. You can tell if anyone who has listened to a single episode of his podcast knows the great fondness that I have for Mr. McMahon. I don't know all the facts, but man, it's really ugly. I feel very similar, just like that dead inside feeling the way I had in 2007 after the Benoit murders, and man, I hope it doesn't take away from people's amazing memories of all the things that Mr. McMahon created or helped create, including my character and the programs that I was in and was such a big part of. Revealing a lawsuit that has been leveled against WWE and AEW, Ringside News said the world of professional wrestling is an ever-changing entity, but originality has become a rare instance in the industry. A wrestler filed a plagiarism lawsuit against WWE and AEW, which was dismissed, but was then given a second chance. Now we have an update on the lawsuit once again. In case you didn't know, a wrestler named Anthony Dwayne Wilson filed against both WWE and AEW, accusing each company of plagiarism, market damages, product damages, personal damages, and financial damages. Ultimately, the lawsuit was dismissed on November 3rd, 2023. Judge Benita Y. Pearson dismissed the case, citing that neither defendant had been served within 90 days of the lawsuit, which was filed back in August. Most of the specifics in the original filing were written by hand, where Wilson had alleged that WWE, its contractors, and employees have on multiple dates used my creative works without permission, infringing on my wrestling gimmicks, names, slogans, and likeness. However, the lawsuit would then get a second chance last month. According to PW Insider, the previously dismissed lawsuit filed against both WWE and AEW in the United States District Court, Northern District of Ohio, Youngstown, by Anthony Dwayne Wilson, accusing each company of plagiarism, market damages, product damages, personal damages, and financial damages, has been served upon both wrestling promotions, according to court records. AEW has been granted permission by the court to extend their time to respond, with a deadline set for February 23, 2024. WWE has also received permission to delay their response until March 7, 2024. Wilson seeks control of AEW, removal of stolen works, a public apology, and a financial settlement for damages. The initial dismissal was due to neither defendant being served within 90 days of the lawsuit being filed in August 2023. The dismissal was without prejudice, which allowed Wilson to refile the lawsuit. Therefore, he has refiled that lawsuit to give it another try. We will have to see if he is successful in his endeavor. Prior to Monday Night Raw getting started, fans would get a "We Want Cody" chant going.
We want Cody. We want Cody. We want Cody. We want Cody. We want Cody.
Speaking of Raw, before the show, general manager of the Red brand, Adam Pearce, revealed plans for the Women's Elimination Chamber match.
All right, WWE Universe, as we saw on Smackdown this past Friday, Bayley has elected to challenge Io Sky for her WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. So who faces Rhea Ripley? I'm glad you asked. Whoever survives the Elimination Chamber. That's right, there will be an Elimination Chamber match later this month in Perth, and whoever wins that goes to WrestleMania to face Rhea. Who gets in the chamber? I'm glad you asked. We kick off qualifying matches tonight live on Raw and in the biggest way possible. It'll be Shayna Baszler, it'll be the man, Becky Lynch, one-on-one in a WrestleMania rematch. It is tonight, 8/7 Central, live from St. Louis. It's Monday Night Raw, and it is official.
Releasing a statement, Bushiroad revealed that the founder of Stardom has been fired, writing, "Notice regarding termination of contract with Rossy Ogawa. To whom it may concern, and to our fans, thank you very much for your continued support of Stardom. We would like to inform you that Bushiroad Fight Incorporated, the company, is pleased to announce that it has entered into a business consignment agreement, the agreement with Mr. Rossy Ogawa. We are pleased to inform you that we have terminated the business consignment agreement, the agreement with Rossy Ogawa, as of February 4th, 2024. Since 2019, the company has entered into the agreement with Rossy Ogawa, the founder of Stardom, and has invited him to serve as executive producer and has entrusted him with Stardom-related tasks. However, we have recently become aware that Mr. Rossy Ogawa has been poaching a number of Stardom athletes and staff members, and we have decided to terminate this agreement. We sincerely apologize for any concern this may have caused. We, the players and staff of Stardom, will continue to make concerted efforts to further develop Stardom and to deliver excitement to our fans. February 5th, 2024, Bushiroad Fight Incorporated. Ogawa posted this about it on X, writing, "Suddenly after yesterday's game, I was notified that my contract would be terminated. The truth of the matter may be told someday. I'm worried about the players right now. Thank you for supporting Stardom for the past 13 years. From now on, it will be Stardom created by Bushiroad." Ogawa would also say this to Tokyo Sports. "I was forced to play aggressive cards, and there was harassment within the company that continued, and I started to lose the will to continue working here. Because of that, some of the wrestlers and staff told me I'm not joining the organization again." A new organization? That's right. "I want to do again what we can't do here. There are quite a few things we can't do here. Because we are a big company, we can't do everything. We did not do this. After hearing the rumors, there were a lot of players who wanted to come to this new organization. I guess they were panicked too. However, President Okada accepted the new organization. He said, 'We'll make an offer to Buntai, and let's have a rivalry match 2 years from now on the 15th anniversary.' I was like, 'What are you talking about now? I don't want to get into a mudslinging match.'" Ringside News added that Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer has reported on the looming possibility of a talent exodus from Stardom, as many of the promotion's wrestlers have strong loyalties to Rossy Ogawa. According to Meltzer, there are indications that Ogawa was contemplating leaving Stardom and potentially establishing his own wrestling company, a move that could entice several Stardom talents to join him. Meltzer remarked, "A lot of the talent is loyal to Ogawa, who founded the company and played a pivotal role in launching the careers of most of the women. Anticipate several departures from the organization in March, coinciding with the expiration of most contracts." In the wake of Rossy Ogawa's departure, Teruo Okada and Oyama have been appointed as the new bookers for Stardom. It's worth noting that neither of them has prior experience in booking wrestling events, although Okada did have involvement in a pro wrestling club that organized matches during his college years. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.